Okay, welcome to topic C. If you've made it this far, we are now going to add and subtract mixed numbers with number line models. It's very exciting. Number lines are very powerful tools for kids to help them understand things like this. So of course we're going to start with a number line, and we're going to go back to what we learned about decomposing and recomposing numbers to help us really understand this. When we try to do a problem like 1 2/5 plus 4/5, we would start by dividing this part up into fifths. I know I don't have to, I know these are fifths too, and I know that those are fifths too. I might do more over here too. Those are terrible fifths. And then, but I don't need to do this first one because I'm starting with 1 2/5. So this helps me to see what I'm doing here. I'm starting from 0, and that gets me to 1 2/5. This is my starting point. And from there, I'm going to add 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that takes me to 2 1/5. And numerically, it would look like this: 1 6/5. And of course, 6/5 is 1 1/5. So I would simplify that to be 2 1/5. We're going to use the model to help kids get to a numerical way of figuring that out. Now, we can also use it to subtract. Let's take the problem 1 2/5. And this is where our work with decomposing fractions is going to really help your kids a lot. Because now, when we divide this up into fifths, and we say 1 2/5, back, we know that we get to 3/5. And numerically, they already understand this because they know that 1 is really equal to 5/5. We know that we can rename that 5/5, and that 5/5 minus 2/5 is obviously 3/5. By now, kids are really understanding this, and it comes very easily to see this. And when we model it on the number line, it reinforces their understanding of what they know. Then we can give them problems like 1 4/9 without the number line, and they can easily figure out that that's the same as 9/9 minus 4/9, which would be 5/9. And once kids really understand that relationship between whole number and fraction, then we can move on to more difficult problems. The next step would be for students to be able to solve problems like this. And now what they need to be able to do in their minds is to be able to decompose 2 into 1 plus 1 minus that 3/5. And they already know what 1 minus 3/5 is. That would be 2/5. And so they know that they can just add that 1 onto it. It would be 1 2/5. And again, using this kind of decomposition model will help them to think through more difficult problems, which is where we're going next. Because now we're going to ask students to do this. 3 minus 1 2/3. And the most common mistake that kids make is this. When we draw that number line model, they're very good at getting to 3, and then they subtract 1, this part. But then the tendency, the big mistake that students make is they often then add the 2/3. They go this direction instead of this direction. And one of the reasons they do that is because they don't use the model of the number line, they try to do it in their heads. And it looks like, oh, 3 minus 1 is 2 2/3. And they give this answer, which is wrong. So one of the ways that we help them to do that is with this number line. What they're really doing is starting with 3, subtracting 1, and then subtracting 2/3, and really helping them to see that that is 1 1/3. Another way that we help them to do that is by, again, decomposing this into 3 minus 1 minus 2/3. And what kids see often is 3 minus 1 plus 2/3. We have to help them understand that when they're subtracting this number, they're subtracting all of it, and they have to subtract both parts. So that's something to watch out for when your kids are bringing home homework in this topic.